Kalala Yahweh, Bo Shumba Mashak Yahweh. Shema Yasharada Yahweh Alahayanawa called the Bomashbaka. Shalom. May peace and serenity and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. All right, I want to go back to one of my previous videos concerning this past Day of Atonement. These were the videos that led up to the Day of Atonement, right? And something supernatural happened in one of these videos. Specifically, the video that I did at one of the Houston bayous here in Houston, Texas. It was the meditation on Ezekiel 18:30-32, where Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua, made a plea to Yasharallah to repent and live, otherwise perish in your iniquity, right? That was the plea. And the Most High made such a plea here in Houston with the consecutive tragic findings of bodies in the Houston bayous. Now, for everybody who saw that video, for one, we seen where spiritual wickedness took effect with the man that came by with the loudspeaker out of nowhere. He just appeared riding by on a bicycle with a loudspeaker at the start of the video, maybe about 2 minutes in. We saw that. It was rebuked. But as the prophesying continued at this Houston bayou, something was caught in the video that wasn't able to be addressed right then and there. I don't even know if I myself saw it. I was caught up in the spirit, and there wasn't much I was paying attention to other than what the spirit was giving me at that time. All right. So I'm going to play this quick clip so you can see exactly what appears in the water during this time I was prophesying at this Houston bayou. All right. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all what it is before we look at the video. What you will see in the video is a white orb emerge out the water. You heard clearly. A white orb comes from underneath the water and emerges to the surface of the water, literally floating over the water. So we're going to check this real quick, and I'm going to allow y'all to catch the glimpse of it in this video here. Now, if you go back to the original video, right at the 4-minute and 30-second mark, you will see this completely. Observe now. Atonement approaches. Did you see it? We got to take this serious. Yes, all of this is happening right there, right before the Day of Atonement. That little white thing, you saw it came from underneath the water and just passed by. It's right there at the left hand, right above the water, in the center of the bayou. You see it? It emerges right there out of the water. See, it's clear, nothing there. And then surprisingly, it emerges out the water. Completely right there. Completely. It comes completely out the water right there. You see that? It literally came from underneath the water. Trying to go in slow motion here so y'all can see it gradually emerge out the water. You see it right there. That's an orb, mashpaka. An orb literally presented itself during the time of my prophesying here at this Houston Bayou. That is a full-blown orb submerging or emerging from the water. I let it play all the way through here. Yes, all of this is happening right before the Day of Atonement approaches. So we got to take this serious. Yes, all of this is happening right before the Day of Atonement approaches. So we got to. So there's some scriptures I want to relate to this sighting, right? This takes me back to the book of Daniel, chapter 5, when King Nebuchadnezzar noticed a ghostly hand writing on his wall. All right? Starting at verse 4. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 5, starting at verse 4. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Verse 6, then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. So when that happened, King Nebuchadnezzar, just to summarize this, you're more than welcome to read the entire chapter on your own time. But to summarize this, King Nebuchadnezzar brought in all of his sorcerers, his astrologers, his wizards, right? He brought all of them in, his prognosticators, all of them, to interpret what just happened. And none of them could interpret what this ghostly hand wrote on his wall. None of them had the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to do so. So he called in Daniel, and Daniel was able to interpret what the ghost hand wrote on his wall in the palace. Okay? And when Daniel interpreted, it started in verse 24 when it shows the interpretation. It says, then was a part of the hand sent from him. This is verse 24, Daniel 5, verse 24. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and the writing was written. Verse 25, and this is the writing that was written. Meneh, Meneh, Tekel, Upharsin. Verse 26, this is the interpretation of the thing. Meneh, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Peres, which is also a parson, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. So that was a woe of destruction to King Nebuchadnezzar. And in the same light, we can see this as a sign of woe as well, because the entire time I was prophesying there, it was a warning given, specifically for everybody who's seen the video in Houston, Texas, and beyond. It was a warning to get right because destruction's coming. Just like destruction was coming for Nebuchadnezzar, destruction's also coming for everybody who was haughty and high-minded and stiff-necked to such a warning that was given. All right? So I didn't want to take too much time with this video. I just wanted to point this out because it was something that wasn't caught during that live stream. See, this is a recording of the live stream that partook there at the Houston Bayou. I'm not naming the bayou. If you know which bayou it was, good for you. However, the prophesying I did at that bayou, while I was prophesying, this orb presented itself, as we all saw. So with all that being said, may peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.